Right you are, Tristan. Right you are. I will be all over this. If you don't know or you're new here, I am all in all probably the most obsessed person on the planet with Chicagoland Speedway. So when I saw that Carson Hocevar made a video covering what it looks like, whether or not he jumped over the fence or not, we may never know. But when I saw him do that, I knew this is something I wanted to talk about because I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions about it. And I think there's some things that, at least from my angle, I can clear up, things that I might know that maybe weren't clarified there. And I implore you to watch Carson's full video as well. We'll just be going through some of the big moments here.
Fairly decent shape. Like, the garages still look halfway intact. I mean, obviously, the racetrack has some weeds growing in, like, the seams.
So that's actually, I think, a really good look at what has, for the most part, happened. And I think a lot of people look at that and they're immediately kind of turned off, like, oh no, this is another North Wilkesboro situation, and we need to really worry about this a lot. Well, in 2020, when I went down and at the time visited Danny B in the place I would later live in Tennessee, we did go and visit the outside of the Nashville Super Speedway. And while we don't have maybe a one-to-one view, as I didn't exactly see the inside of that track, I saw the outside. And honestly, that track in 2020 was way more in disrepair than Chicagoland is right now. At least when you see, for instance, Carson walking up and then the track itself from the distance, it honestly doesn't look that bad. I think maybe a day or two of weed whacking around the track would get most of that. They do, if they're going to race there next year, they do need to fill it in and have the seams filled in. There's been rumors talking about the fact that they might actually repave Chicagoland Speedway. I don't think that's a good idea personally, but it is a rumor that's been out there for a bit.
You know, it still looks pretty decent shape. Like, I mean, even the grass isn't like overgrown. I mean, that's mowed.
So one thing I do know about how Chicagoland runs things right now is that a lot of times they'll let the grass in the surrounding area and in the track grow up a little bit and then kind of make hay bales they can sell off later with it. From people I've talked to and others that are more in the know than I would be normally on this, they've said that basically what they do is every little way they're able to make money, whether that's shipping off some help in grandstands for the Chicago street race, getting the air titans or any dryers or any kind of safety trucks sent over to Iowa or Kansas or any other ISC run track, or selling off, you know, different goods that they can from the track to make money and fill in the margins. That's basically what Chicagoland has been doing.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're mowing.
So one of the things, and let me see if I can get it back right there. So one thing you'll notice is that right around entering turn one inside the grass, there's this really rough patch, right? You have this really nice mowed area and you saw it on the infield too. And then you see this rough patch in the middle that just kind of looks like it's all been dug up. From what I can tell, that was where the motocross course was when they covered this place with dirt. You'll see a similar thing in the tri-oval too. I'm wondering if maybe what they put down either affected the plant growth, or if they just don't mess with as much, or if they maybe work on those sections on separate times. I don't know that part in particular. But you will notice that there are those differences in the tri-oval and the surrounding area. On top of that, there's also this fencing too. A lot of people noted a while ago in, I think 2024 it was, they still were missing part of the turn one catch fence. That was part of the course from the motocross race that went outside of the track and then back in. They've since replaced that. So there still is upkeep on the track.
I don't know if I really want to attempt this pedestrian tunnel.
I can't be the only one that finds it funny. The guy that'll dive it 4 wide into any corner is scared of a pedestrian tunnel. But I'm not going to lie. Even as somebody as diehard Chicagoland as I am, no, I'm sorry. There's no way I would go down that unless I had somebody there with me. I get the paint chipping makes it look sketchy. And that's something I think a lot of people are going to notice too about his video. And I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just want people at least to go check that out on their own. There's going to be paint chipping. They haven't needed to paint up the place since 2019. And 2019 at this point is well over half a decade ago. Trust me, you're going to see paint chipping. It already was run down in the last years of this race. You can go back and see when I was live streaming at the track the last Chicagoland weekend, and it was pretty rough.
I mean, these look beautiful here.
So one of the things I also know about the Chicagoland side of things is that they are upkeeping the stands as well. The stands don't look too bad here. I don't think anything has really changed in this part in particular. If anything, I would think they'd probably add a few more drink rails if they came back, just to make the crowd look a little more packed in and make it an easier sellout. But there have been repairs to certain seats up there. And at the same time, there's been repairs also in a lot of the other structures around the area. So I would assume that, you know, it looks good because it's been kept up pretty well by, again, a very limited staff who deserves a ton of praise. So actually a really cool thing, a little tidbit that many of you probably won't care about, but I still gotta say anyway, is right across the way from that Sunoco sign in turn 4 at the entrance to pit road. You cross that trail that you don't really see as much. I think it's been overgrown a bit in the infield over there. There used to be a little gravel road. That's the place that I used to camp with my family back in the day at Chicagoland Speedway. So to see that area of it upkept, even if they still have the old monster logos and all of that stuff, I'm all for. I'll tell you what, you take out the plants and everything like that, and maybe this is me having wishful thinking, but this could be, if it comes back with how worn out it is, the shape of it as well. I mean, you look at the color of the asphalt and everything with it. This could be the old Atlanta Motor Speedway we all miss or all would want, you know, if you're on that side of it. So I'm just saying, like, I really think the racing here would be really good. I even saw, I think it was a few months ago, Chase Briscoe had said something similar. I know Chase Briscoe is very, very big on bringing Chicagoland back. I think a few other drivers are as well. And something else you got to remember is that they did the electric vehicle test at Chicagoland as well with David Reagan, where they ran a few laps around the track, did some filming, stuff like that. So this track is, I don't think, as dilapidated as so many people think. I think it needs a fresh coat of paint, some weed whacking, probably from at least what I know, about 6 months or so of really good, you know, TLC for it to be race ready, get a staff all put together and everything like that. But compared to a lot of tracks I haven't raced at in 5, 7, 10, 15 years, Chicagoland Speedway looks way better than most. So yesterday, Carson posted some pictures as well. He had, you know, talked about the fact that he was going to put a video out about it today. And again, I implore you to watch the whole thing. We're just skipping around right now. Watch the whole thing for the full context of everything. But he took a picture, a ground picture, very cinematic. It's in the thumbnail of this video. And this right here is, I think, what he took the picture of. And from that view, it did not look very good. I totally understand people thinking, man, this place is a dump. It's, you know, a shithole, if you will. Sorry, Carson, I had to take the jab there. I get that part of it. But this, honestly, again, doesn't look too bad. This is what happens to racetracks. A lot of people will look, for instance, at North Wilkesboro. And that is the end-all, be-all of abandoned racetracks back in the day. But what people forget is that it was not abandoned since 1996. There was a revival effort. There was a cleanup effort before they had Dale Jr. and all of them going in like 2020, 2021, whenever that was. So I urge people to not go nuclear one way or another, because I do think, based on the rumors, Chicago Street Course looks like it's probably done after this year. From what I've known from a few sources, NASCAR and the France family especially do not want to leave the Chicago market unless they in any way absolutely have to. Maybe that San Diego is the reason if they weren't to come back next year. I would say this, though. I think that, you know, this is a track that would race well with the next gen. There's been rumors galore left and right. There is a lot of smoke now with it. And on top of all of that, you know, there is, in my opinion, a really bad precedent put forth if you're going to put a ton of effort into revitalizing and growing a huge market for you to then just abandon it right after.
Or a driver or a fan. Just, I don't know, I just think it's cool. Top lane would definitely have to get, you know, a few runs at it before you can go run.
So again, this part is not going to look very good. And in all honesty, it doesn't look very good. But I wouldn't take too much off the top with that. In all honesty, I really think that push come to shove, this track will be race ready if it's put up for the 2026 schedule. Now, there were other photos, and I'll put them on screen as we're talking, that kind of show how the inside of the track is. It's not, again, great. It's going to need a lot of work to get it back and race ready, but I implore you, watch Carson's video, support it if you will. That comment from the start of the video was from Carson's video. It's linked in the description below as well. I'll have it at some point, or maybe I already did in this video, up in the corners. But all in all, I really, for the first time in a long time, am more confident than not that this track is going to come back. I think it'll race really well. The attendance does not have to be monstrous to sell out. And in all honesty, if they renovate the stands more and put in more drink rails, it'll be even easier to sell this place out, which they've done with a lot of them. Look at Kansas, for instance. There's other tracks that, again, Kansas, Darlington, among others, that the attendance isn't really good for their spring dates. Maybe that could happen. Maybe they could be in just for the street race itself if San Diego doesn't go through, or Mexico falls off the schedule. There's a lot of possibilities. We're just going to have to wait and see, unfortunately. So I want to know what you think. Somebody like all of you that are probably less biased than I am with it, in the comments down below. While you're at, leave a like in this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more great and fun NASCAR content. Thank you so much, all my channel members, for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.